You also haven't been able to hear me this entire time. I really need to get a hold of the freaking the thing. There you go, the thing that says when I switch scenes, right, or sources, I can enable one mic on one source or scene and then enable it on another. I can disable it on one, enable it on another. I can just swap between the two. For every scene that's enabled, I swap to, it enables all the sources, and when I disable a scene, it disables all the sources. Or select ones. So I'm going to repeat everything I just said, though, right? News is okay. We have a red and 3 orange. Price is going to be a little eesh. Nothing we should be concerned with except for the Tokyo CPI, Japan CPI folder, right? This is the S&P 500. I understand it is not USD JPY or GJ, or you get the point, right? Right now we're looking at price for what it is outside of news. When news hits, we're going to be cautious on whether or not these fair value gaps are respected or disrespected. At the moment, we have broke structure out of our downtrend, and we're looking for this fair value gap to be respected and this one to get disrespected. We want to see price close above this high here, this primary key level, and as a result, we want to see it continue higher. We want to see this fair value gap inversed, showing us and telling us that this downtrend is completely done with. We don't want it to see it go down anymore. I'd like to see this fair value gap respected, and from it, price continuing higher. What I have a feeling is going to happen is around 8:30-ish, so between these two candles here, these two lines, price is going to dip down into this. It'll wick past this, but it is going to continue higher off of the reaction. We have 3 folders hitting at the same time, 8:30. All 3 of them, I'm going to guess, are going to be varied out, and we need to wait about 20 minutes, so around 9-ish, which is where we are waiting for our time to trade. The result from us taking a trade today is going to be from price coming down into this, respecting the fair value gap, and then rocketing back up. With fingers crossed and an inkling of hope, it'll actually close above this fair value gap and price will continue much higher. Outside of this fair value gap, what else is telling us price is going to go lower? This right here. We have another fair value gap right there. That is the only other fair value gap in this entire leg down. Yeah, that's the only one. Yeah, breaker block showing weakness on the buy side, order block, liquidity sweep, swept past this. That's usually signs of reversal out of this downtrend here, and from that we'll see price continuing higher, where you have a fair value gap as a continuation confluence is going higher. We have I was about to say inverse fair value gap. I don't know if I can count this as an inverse fair value gap because we've been looking at it for a minute now. And it is a very tiny fair value gap to be inversed. If we were to count that as inverse, in either case, we don't even have to count that because we have a break structure up on this candle here. We broke above this high. We broke structure, created a fair value gap. If we were to continue on this path, we'd be looking for another inverse fair value gap or another break of structure for confirmation the price is going to continue higher. And that's what we're currently waiting on to see if it'll work or not. We need this fair value gap to be respected and this one to be disrespected to know price is going to go higher. In the event this one's disrespected instead, we know price is going to go lower, and I have a strong suspecting feeling what's going to happen is price is going to come down off of news. We'll see it close below this, right? But it'll be a fake out. So price will continue lower for a small span of time, but it won't go past this low here. And as a result, we'll see it continue higher. And that'll be a well-defined break of structure because we have a higher high here, right? We want to see a higher low, higher high afterwards. The low will be formed off of this little retrace here. It'll be formed from news, and then from the news's reaction, it'll continue higher. Potentially. Market makers could decide just to plunge price down into the abyss from whence it came, but we won't know that until we see it. So all we can do is wait. If this fair value gap is disrespected, I was saying before, off of news and it continues on down, I think it's best if we leave market because it will have already been past our 950 mark, and every time it has gone down, disrespected this and hit our key level here, we've missed out on the leg up. That's every time. And there's nothing telling us that price is going to continue up after it's disrespected this fair value gap. So we want to de-risk completely. From here, we're being very cautious. Very, very, very cautious. I'm going to pause the video now. I'll be right back. Okay. Been a minute since I unpaused the video. I figured I might as well go ahead and update on what news has to offer. While we are here, the red folder didn't affect market at all. It was the exact same as forecast, so neither good nor bad for currency. No up, no down. However, we did get two changes here on these two. Both of these say if actual is greater than forecast is good for currency. So if it's green, that means price is going to move down within the market. And if it's red, that means price is going to move up. This one had the pretty color of green. It went up. Pretty color of red. That is red, not green. I is not colorblind. You might be, but I is not. In any case, because this is the red number and lesser than forecast, it is actually going up in price. However, I'm looking at this number here and going oof. I am going seriously oof because that is a 7.1 difference between forecast, right? And it's an even greater difference than the previous. If actual is greater than forecast is good for currency, which means we should be seeing a major down in price. Price should be going much, much further down. Which means we need to be on the cautious side. Still see that. Hang on. Let me minimize that. Hopefully it works now. Does it work? Yes, it does. Okay. Cool. So here's 8:30. All the news hit there. We're currently waiting for price to get back to us on that. Let me see exactly what price has done, because this is 10 minutes in delay. We're looking at the 30-minute on that. Here's 30-minute for current price action here. You can see that nice and clearly. Looks a little different from what you're seeing on TradingView. That's completely understandable. TradingView is 10 minutes behind versus this right here is live price action. Looks like the top fair value gap is going to be respected. It looks like it. We have a minute 24 for that candle to close, and we're waiting, because of news, at least 10 to 20 minutes after news hits. So 8:30 translates over to 8:50, almost 9. We'll wait till 9. The closure of, I believe it's this candle here. Yeah. We'll wait for the closure of that candle to determine what price wants to do, where it's going to go. Where it's going to go and how price is going to react based off of the news candle we have here. Yeah. Am I treating this as though our key level was hit? No. Yes and no. The only reason I say yes and no is because, one, this falls on the 8 o'clock candle, right? And we don't want to count the closure of this candle because it's also news. So we're going to wait till our 9 o'clock candle here to form. We want it to close, and we want to see it either disrespect a fair value gap and hit our key level, or come down here and hit this key level here. If it hits this key level and closes below it, I'm not trading today. My mind is made up. If price signals a downward move, in other words, if price disrespects this here key level, I am not trading today. I will not be pressing sell. I will not be pressing buy. I will simply be leaving the market. Won't even try it. Because at that point, I will know it's too volatile and the reaction off of news is just too much. And per that reaction, we might not see price come back up to where we want it to go, which is past this and higher. We have 30 minutes for that candle to close. The 9 o'clock candle, I believe, it just started. It's 9 a.m. now. So we're waiting patiently. Our key level was hit. Our top one was. It was crossed into and respected. We're looking for it to get disrespected now, which means we have to wait the extra hour that candle right there has to go through. Until we see it disrespected, we're not going to do anything about it. I want to see it get disrespected first. And then from there, we will build our building blocks and continue onwards. With that being the case, I'm going to pause the video again. We'll be right back. We might take a trade today, depending on what price does. And again, if it chooses not to cross above. What happens when I talk? I yawn. But if I'm working on anything else, no yawn, no tired, no nothing. Don't make sense to me. If it only taps into this and continues downward, and we see it disrespect this, we're not trading. I don't know how many more times I gotta repeat it, but if this gets closed above, or if this right here gets crossed into and it gets closed above right here, we're probably going to be looking for a trade to get taken. Let's pause the video. Wait to see what's going to happen. BRB. Okay, so we have our break of structure here. And on current price action, this right here has broke past our key level of our fair value gap. It's not closed above it yet. It's getting there, though. My gut feeling says it's going to close there in 30 minutes. We've inverted that fair value gap. From here, we need to go to our 5-minute and look for our building blocks. That would be our breaks of structure. So per this current trend up, we're looking at an uptrend. What are we looking for? Breaks of structure. That'd be the lows. We're looking for a low to get closed below. That's our break of structure off of that. Or an inverse fair value gap on the 5-minute. From that, we'd be looking at all of this here. Pardon that. That was for yesterday's trade. So we have to look for, on the 5-minute, break of structure and inverse fair value gap. And then from there, break a block or order block, or the fair value gap to appear. We have a fair value gap that's currently respected going up. That's the fair value gap from that key level hit on the fair value gap we marked from before. It was respected. This is currently what I'm looking at here. We have a fair value gap here on the 5-minute that's been respected, right? For the 5-minute, we're also looking still for that break of structure. We're waiting for a low to get closed. A little low. Man, good stretch. These two say price is going to move higher. I'm also looking at inverse there, inverse there. Looking at inverse on this candle here. I'm waiting for a move. Actually, that may have been a sweep there. We hit our key level. We have. Okay, can you stop displaying those ads, please? They're not entertaining to me. They hurt my feelings. Go away with them. Good grief. Anyway. Okay. Good. Okay, cool. So, for this key level hit here, we're looking at break structure in the uptrend, lows getting closed below. So it's not closed below. We're still in an uptrend for this. Music just ain't it today. It's just not. Because my focus is all the way off. I want to say this is a liquidity sweep because we had a order block here, sweep of liquidity, prices rallying higher, which means on this, or this candle, one of these three, we're going to be presented with a fair value gap. I believe we were presented with a fair value gap, inverse for a fair value gap on this right here. From this, we'll be looking at fair value gap forming, breaker block, order block, or equilibrium. Which means from this inverse fair value gap, we might be looking at order block, which would pretty much reverse this whole move. All of them. These all were from news. All four of these candles were here. Gotta remember this right here was the major difference between all of the news. If this right here is to be considered a liquidity sweep, then this right here is to be considered a breaker block. If that's the case, I think we got that as a confluence. This move up brought price so far down it actually filled this breaker block here completely, respecting the fair value gap that's here. This fair value gap says price is continuing higher, which is essentially what it did. This right here, this fair value gap specifically said it was going to go lower, but it was just inverted. This right here drops all the way down past this, clearing and filling this breaker block. As a result, that's our continuation confluence there. From that continuation confluence, we'd be moving down to the 1 minute, and we'd be finding either a break of structure back to the upside, or we're looking for an inverse fair value gap. We don't have a fair value gap anywhere to be inversed. So on a downtrend, what are we looking for when it comes to a break of structure to the upside? We're looking for a high to get past, which I believe just happened. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. The fair value gap was respected. I'm looking to press buy. Confirm. Buy. Buy. Good. And from here, boom, we're going to take our stop loss. We're going to put our stop loss right below this fair value gap here. Modify. Take this. We're going to drag it all the way up here. Boom. Modify. Which key profits we could have. Oh, I set that. That far up. I did. Wow. Set it all the way up there. I mean, it is a potential for us to hit that. There is a potential there. What we're gonna do is this though. We're gonna take this. Boom. We're going to take this. Boom. Boom. This is a draw. I'd say this is a draw, but this is more of one here. And we'll even set one right here. Keep things nice and understood. We have a fair value gap here that we could target. Right now, prices looking like it is in fact going higher. That's currently what it's looking like it's doing. We're going to move up to the 5 minute and we're going to watch it scale also very slowly. We have entered on a buy position, assuming that this was a breaker block that was in fact filled off of this price movement here and off of a respected fair value gap or a disrespected fair value gap on the downtrend and a break of structure to the up, signaling that the downtrend is over with. Double confirmation on that is going to be this break, this key level up here getting hit. Once this gets hit, I'm convinced price is going to continue moving higher. I believe we actually just got that. We go to the hour on this, see if it was hit. So in 16 minutes, if that closes the way it's supposed to, that green candle all the way to the far, that's the right of my screen, should be right for you as well. That green candle, if it closes above that blue line in the next 15 minutes, chances are price is going to continue higher the way we're wanting it to, and this will be a valid trade idea. And price can continue higher from that. Again, we're going to go to 5 minute, reset our chart view so we can see stuff quite clearly. That's a large leg up, potentially creating a fair value gap in itself. So from there, we're just waiting for price to continue higher. I think the idea is valid of us. I think we're good. I think we're gold. I think we're clear. We're okay. We're going to be watching the 5 minute like a hawk. Hopefully we can get it high enough and take some decent take profits from it. I understand this level here is volatile when it comes to the hourly because that is one massive fair value gap that's been respected. I understand we are per this fair value gap in a downtrend still. We're just peaking up to a new high. Though I'm looking at the current price action being above this line here. So we're actually looking at this fair value gap currently to get disrespected completely. How far up, how disrespected do we think it's going to get? I think we could pretty much expect this key level here to get hit. I don't think we've marked that effectively enough. So we're going to move that. We're going to take this, move it here. Good. From that, we have two key levels here we're looking to take profit from. If we can hit this second one here, and on the 5 minute, watch as it starts to break structure back to the downside. What are we looking for? An uptrend for a break of structure, a low to get closed below. If it gets closed below, I'm convinced we can back out of the market here, and that will have been a decent enough trade. I think that's a relative good idea. The risk to reward is not optimal for this level here specifically. It is optimal for up there. If we disrespect this fair value gap here, which means we're closing above it, right? We'll see price continuing higher, and then at that point, our risk to reward begins to get a little bit more feasible, a little more respectable. Price is rocking up higher too, so we have that to look forward to. With that being the case, we're going to pause the video. We're going to fast forward to the good part of actually making a profit. We're going to go ahead and do this with the chart. Say pause the video. Yeah, I'm going to pause the video. and I'm just gonna watch it because last time I felt like it was a little too long that we had recorded for, and it was just silent chart movement the whole way. Until I can find some non-copyright sound to throw over the video, I think I'm gonna continue to pause the video so that way when price moves and we get to where we want to with it, we can just unpause and then view from there. With that being the case, we'll be right back. We want you to take. Ah! I know, 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 I know. My emotions need to be under control. We need to manage them like a human being does. I can be happy though. No. I can be happy about this. So let me shut this music up right quick. Shut up for a second. Because you're toast. I don't need you at the moment. Headsets off. We're having a discussion. 5 years ago, I started my first day job. November, December, didn't last 2 months. I made very little, I had a bad time the whole way around. You had people talking behind your back. You had little money being made. I was working literally double shifts, just back to back to back for 2 months, right? And it sucked. It really, really, really sucked. So I got a new job, right? This job is where I first learned about day trading. I first was introduced to it. I had nothing, an inkling of the knowledge I do today, right? An inkling of it. This inkling turned into what I see before me now. And I know it's only paper trading. I know I shouldn't be excited. My emotions need to be under control. I could be happy about this trade. I have the right now to say I can be happy about it. After that day job, I went to another one. Instead of being early in the morning, though, I chose dead at night. I chose to go the third shift route. I chose to try and make as much money as I could off that shift. It sucked more because there was a lot more ground to cover, way less people in sight, and I was driving myself insane doing the exact same crap every day for almost the same wages. It sucked. It sucked so bad. I hated every minute of it. I did not like it. At the end of the day, I rage quit that job. It was in the height of COVID. In the middle of my spring break, my 2 weeks of vacation that I wasn't even qualified for. I hated that job. Hated it so much. I said, no, I'm done. See ya. Not happening again. No. Fast forward a year later, and we get to the big bad job I held onto my shoulders for 4 years. This is all the experience I will have ever had in the workforce. That is me, I myself, going into a company, clocking in for them, making money for them, leaving for them, and then repeating that all over again. I hated the entrance. I hated, with a passion, hated everything about that job. Everything. Except for 3 things. One, the 2 people I actually met who were new, nice, and cared about someone's opinion, whose opinions lined up with my own. They hated the job as much as I did. One made it work. The other left around the same time I did. I hated that job. Hated it. 2, the family that's still there. I regret leaving them behind, but, and this is the 3rd thing I love about this job, I left. I left because I knew it wasn't for me, and I knew there were better things to do with my life than waste away in a sweat pit hole making money for someone else who did not care about the safety or the precautions or the mental of their workers. I left that job, dude. And today, the craziest idea I've had since those years of working, the craziest idea, was purchasing a $10,000, $15,000 item. I spent the better half of 2 years saving up that much to get that one item. I can't say what it is on this channel because YouTube hates it. So I'm going to leave it as an item. I'm going to let you go check out a video I'm going to link in the description to my negative channel or minus. Go check that out, okay? Go check it out. I get hardly anyone watches this video. Go check out that video because that is what I spent that money on. It was not cheap. It was at the moment the craziest idea I have had in 6 years. Crazy. No one expected that of me. Absolutely no one. I said it to the first person I thought would enjoy it. And they went, that's cool. That was crazy of me. That's worth more than my truck is outside. The one that's broke down, has transmission problems, and I'm riding on a hope and a prayer of getting that thing fixed. Crazy idea. Crazy. The second craziest idea I've ever had is this. Actually setting up my own office and getting to be able to record and do this kind of thing. That's the second craziest idea I've had, and it is worth less than the truck is outside. Crazy. In a week's span. 3 videos. You've seen them. We've taken 3 trades now. And have made the same amount we needed. I needed. In those span of 2 years to get that item I got. The craziest idea I've had. Crazy. I understand. On top of that, I understand. My memory is still intact. I have not forgotten about the $10,000 we lost. I have not forgotten about... Hang on, let's actually look at the history because it's here. And we can see it in all of its glory. I'm going to leave this up on the screen so you can see it go off. Let's go here. Right here. Was it that? I don't think it was that. It may have been this. Forget where it is. I don't know where it is. I really wish there was a way of actually seeing, like, the minus sign. It was in a day. This is this week. This was last week. May have been in this right here. It may have been this. We hit a stop loss and it X'd out. We hit 2 stop losses in a single day and it X'd out $10,000 from us. That's the same amount we made back. That's a little more than the amount we made back. Okay? Just a little bit. In the time I've had to learn this, in this week alone, we made it back. I can say I made this amount of money in a week now. In a week span. The knowledge and memory is there. I don't want to lose that amount again. I don't. And I was playing it risky at the very end. I was playing it extremely risky. Something I should have never done. This right here. You'll see all of this. Am I muted? I had better not be muted. I have not been muted. Good. This right here scared the living daylights out of me, and I was having a panic attack while listening to music on YouTube. I saw this break of structure here, and it had my heart drop. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hang on to it for a little bit longer, just a little bit. We're gonna see what I can do with this. We're gonna see it. I want to see it. We made back $10,000, close to $11,000 in a single week. I don't think you guys understand just how happy that makes me. Every time I've taken a trade this week, I've constantly been in my own head, not in a bad way either, but in a positive way, thinking on the wavelength of what you put out is what you get from this world, right? The positivity you could put out is what you could be receiving. I've been in my own head, like, daydreaming of the future. 10, 20 years from now. What exactly am I going to be? Where am I going to be? How am I going to be? Every time I look at what I've done now, it's like, oh, I can't look back and think of anything good aside from where I am now. What I've done to work on what I'm doing now. There we are. Coming up on the closure of this deal. I've already closed I've closed the position on the app. Oh, Sunday. Okay. Sunday. This Sunday. Cool. Okay. That's fine. So they're undergoing maintenance Sunday. Cool. We did this. I did this. I did it. We're not there yet though. We got a long way to go. Hope you guys are prepared because we have some profit to make. We have some mistakes to make. We have lessons to learn and things to do. And so long as this progress keeps up, I'm on my road. I'm on my way to not having to work for anyone except for me. I seriously cannot wait, as much as I should be able to wait, for all the content and memories I'm going to make along the way. My goals are fairly simple. And for me to have learned this in the time it took me to learn this is something I never thought I would have expected of me. The thought wasn't there. The expectation wasn't there. I had an inkling of knowledge about this kind of stuff 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. And for me to be able to say I can make $10,000 in a week on this, that's a leap. That's a leap no one ever thought I'd be willing to take, especially me. If you enjoy this kind of content like I do, drop a like. If you're newer on the comeback, there's a subscribe button next to the like button. It's to the left of the screen. It's underneath the window you're watching this video on right now. If you don't like this particular content, I've got 2 other channels, 3, hosting a variety of different content and actually being able to do things that I enjoy. Hit one of those subscribe buttons if you don't want to watch this, which is completely understandable. In the event you don't like the short form content, you'd like to see streams, I'm working on a serious amount of content on Patreon now. All of my channels, including the Twitch, has been linked on Patreon. If you want to support me, if you don't want to watch YouTube, if you don't want this censored bullcrap YouTube has me put up, or Twitch has me post, or stream, or whatever, go to Patreon, support me. From there, you will have literally all of my content uncensored. Within Patreon's guidelines, because we don't want to upset Patreon. Go check out Patreon. Have some fun with it. I think you'll be surprised. I think. I can say with this trade, I am happy. Very, very happy. I do hope you guys enjoy the rest of this. But the pairs, I made a small mistake, just a small one, because I'm looking at right here. That take profit is just above that. And that high is barely gone up above that right there. So we're targeting this high now, not just this one. And then again, we're 2 candles behind this. So 1, 2, yeah. This would have been, this is where we took profit on Trade Locker. Happy is what I am about today's video. I've been recording for an hour. So I made a teeny mistake. Just a teeny one. Because I don't want to see this number fall any lower. Well, no, because if I try and like remove that, it'll straight up say nope, all the way down. So I'll wait patiently. I will wait. We had 2 minutes and 40 seconds for that to go back up, or that candle that we're currently on to close. We have 2 candles going down here. I guess while that's doing its thing, let's discuss what happened over here. What did I do for today? Let's go for the hour. Not the 4 hour, but the hour. Yep. Reset chart. Zoom way the flip in. We bought in on this candle here. I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to say right before I paused, that if this fair value gap here was disrespected, that we'd buy in. And that if this key level and this key level both got hit and closed above, that price would continue higher, and sure enough, that's what happened. It ripped. It full sended it, more so than we did the other ones. From this, though, we got a very large margin of return. We saw this key level get hit. I believe it was on this candle specifically. We watched it close, and then from that, we did this. We went here, do this here. So we saw this candle get closed here, right? And then what we did, or I'm sorry, this is the wrong fair value gap. This one's the correct. My bad, forget about that. But we saw news hit, and we wanted to wait a little while for it to really do its thing. So we wanted it to hit this key level afterwards, right? Because news struck in the middle of this fair value gap. There was nothing we could do to really mitigate that, aside from indicate, oh, okay, so this is where we want it to go, this is where we don't want it to go, right? As you can see, the fair value gap was painted on all over. Disrespected, respected, the like. From this, we had a low that was respecting of the fair value gap. When we saw our break of structure off of this retrace, or actually, I'm sorry. So we were actually looking for a break of structure off of this one, which occurred with that breakage of the candle there, right? We saw that break of structure. From there, we went for our order block, fair value gap, breaker block, order block, equilibrium. What I thought had happened was we had a liquidity sweep here. This was actually an order block that occurred. And from this order block, we had a sweep of this low here. From this low, price was going to go higher. And sure enough, that's what it did. All signs throughout this, including news, pointed upwards. So we took a bet and said, yep, price is going to go higher. From there, we watched it go a lot higher. Was this a safe trade to bet on? I'm going to say no, because it was news, and we had a CPI folder on JPY that had me a tad bit concerned, and I believe we actually caught that on, not on camera, but hot dog. Because we can go back to this right here. It's here. Yeah, that hit at 7:30 p.m. That did not hit at all. We didn't catch any of that, which is golden for us. But yeah, 10:30 10 news hit, and it just kept ripping. It full sent it all the way up. Full sent, yeet, piled on by, all the way up there. Yeah. We took a risky trade today. I'll be honest, my head was not in the game early on in the morning. It is now 1 p.m. My head was not in the game that early, but we still managed to come out on top with a profit. We made $4,262.50 off this one trade. That's on paper trading. I understand no one cares about paper trading. We care about it when you make real money, yada, yada, yada. The strat works. And from it, we became profitable off of this. What I meant earlier about get ready because there's a lot more we got to do. We still have 2 months where we have to make $10,000. There you go, $10,000. We made $643 off of this trade into the positive. We started this account with $100,000. We came back from a $10,000 deficit, so this was sitting at roughly $98,000. And from the time we lost it, I made a video on Saturday roasting myself, correcting my mistakes. Those corrections have since paid off. We have closed the gap on the negative and have since breached past what I thought was going to be a decent trade. Thank you for watching this episode of Or Plus. If you're curious as to where these VODs are going to continue being posted, I'm going to post 2. I'm going to post one to YouTube, Or Plus, and I'm going to post another to Patreon because, yeah, this kind of content is not sensitive content outside of people misinterpreting these videos as like financial advice. I'm going to make something perfectly clear. I am not a financial advisor. I am not an expert on strategies. I am new to the market. If you're looking to learn from the same mentor I have, go check out TJR Trades. I'll probably link that in the description. If I don't, something's wrong with me because I learned everything about trading from him, with the exception of a few other channels and, of course, learning through my own hands-on approach. Yeah. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.